Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another discussion topic video leading up to The Walking Dead Season 9. In this one, we're going to focus on the validity of the whole news that Andrew Lincoln is going to be leaving the role of Rick behind. He's going to be leaving The Walking Dead. Alright, and spoiler warning, I guess. I don't know. I mean, okay, so for this one, with regards to spoilers, it's like, guys, this is such huge news for The Walking Dead. It is literally everywhere. You cannot Google The Walking Dead without seeing, the very top thing regarding Andrew Lincoln leaving the series. It's everywhere. It got out. Would it have been cool if they could have kind of not telegraphed it at all, and we would have went into Season 9 not knowing at all that Andrew Lincoln was wanting to leave, and then just seeing the episode and all of a sudden he's killed off and they killed Rick off before your very eyes without anyone having any idea. In a perfect world, that would have been really cool for that to happen. But the reality is, there are contract negotiations. There are a lot of people involved. There are people at AMC. There are people at, the agents for the different actors and the different people. Like, for example, Norman Reedus, who, if Andrew Lincoln is in fact going to leave, Norman Reedus could be seeing, I've heard reportedly online, again, can't quote numbers here, but a $20 million deal for Norman Reedus. Which is, congratulations to him, man. I say you earned it, you deserve it. Well, that's a lot of money. I don't know if if you deserve that much, but okay, I'm happy for you. Great job. $20 million deal to do maybe, I don't know, a few more seasons or something, 6 or 7 seasons or however, I don't know, however many seasons it, would end up being for him in the show, I don't know. So there's a lot of people involved as these things are kind of happening. And really, I mean, it's such huge news that asking people to keep it confidential or to keep it squashed so that nobody knows about it is very difficult to do. And even though AMC has a pretty crazy security, they have like a custom app they use where they deliver lines and things like this, and they don't have access to other people's lines and the whole script for the whole season. Each person just gets like a fraction or like a portion of what they need to know. So they've kind of got the security on lockdown for for the seasons and for what they're doing, and they've got a system in place. But even still, something like that is so huge. Are people going to keep it hush and keep it quiet and sweep it under the rug? The agents, everyone who's involved, everything. No, in reality, it doesn't work that way. And as we've seen here, it seems like things have gotten out. Now, it was first from Collider, so far as I know. Now it's all over the internet. You can go to comicbook.com, you can Google it, you can see, 10,000 different websites or 100,000 or however many with that as the headline if they cover Walking Dead news. Everybody's got this one as a headline. So in a decade of, or a time of clickbait articles and, sites wanting to grab people's attention and this kind of deal. Of course, it's something that happens. It's something that's out there. A lot of people questioning the validity of whether or not this is true, whether or not Rick is going to actually leave the show, and what we're seeing. Everything I've heard so far and I've seen so far from all the websites I've combed through and everything I've looked through, it looks legitimate. Now, is it possible the whole thing is bogus? I wish that were the case, and I wish that the whole thing is just not true at all, and he ends up being in season 10 and 11 and 12 and whatever. That would be fantastic. That would be amazing. And have the whole thing be some kind of clickbait rumor or something started by, I'm not going to mention the site, but you guys get where I'm going with this. That'd be sweet. That's what I would want. I would want that. I would rather it be some kind of bogus news and thing like that rather than it being true. Like Mr. Grumpy here says, his name is actually Mr. Grumpy on YouTube. Probably fake news like everything else in life. And I hear you, Mr. Grumpy. I really hope that is the case, that it is just nonsense, and it is, there's nothing, it's an unsubstantiated claim, and that there really is nothing to it. But really, from everything I'm seeing right now, it really looks like this is legitimate, and that, it kind of sucks. And at the same time, it's like, yeah, we want to kind of be in denial. We want to kind of say, no, it's not going to happen. But everything looks like this one is legit, for sure. Tad24 says, hey Trev, I know departure hasn't been confirmed. Rick's departure has not been confirmed by AMC yet, but do you think maybe Rick will be leaving to go to Fear or something like this? I really don't think so, man. I don't think that they would do that. I don't think they would have Rick leave the original series to go into a spin-off or a companion or any other type of thing, you know. If he's leaving The Walking Dead, to me, that means he's most likely leaving for, for good. Like, that's it. Like, he'll be probably killed off this season in season 9. Look for maybe a character death between episodes, 4 or 5 through 9, something like that. And that will probably be it for Rick's time in the series. As sad as that sounds, as crazy as that sounds, that's what it's looking like right now, and everything I'm hearing. Will it be confirmed by AMC? Don't look for something like this to be confirmed by AMC. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know people are saying, like, well, I'm not going to believe it until AMC confirms it or fully announces it, or someone like Kirkman or Gimple or somebody big like that, or Angela Kang comes out and says, this is what we're doing. Rick's going to leave, but it'll be okay, whatever. Don't look for that. I'm sure at SDCC they're going to be blitzed by questions like crazy by everybody. I wouldn't be surprised if even Andrew Lincoln was not there this year for questioning, because for the interviews and stuff they do at the panels and all that. I would not be surprised if maybe he just came out and he didn't really answer any questions, because that's what everybody's going to want to know. And he's not going to be able to say that. He's not going to be able to speak to that at all. And don't look for AMC to confirm something like this. They're not going to confirm this before. It's not advantageous for them to do so. For them, ideal situation would be nobody knows about it. He does leave. Norman Reedus does sign. And then when you're watching the series through, all of a sudden they kill Rick off, and the popularity of the series explodes to new heights. If there ever was a time when they could trump the season 7 premiere in terms of interest of the show, this is it. If you kill Rick off and it does not surpass 17 million views, it does not do more buzz for The Walking Dead than ever before, then the series is done. This is my opinion. If you do not get at least 17 or 20 million people to watch that, or afterwards talk about that the next episode, just, the amount of interest in the show will just absolutely go insane if they were to kill Rick off. If that doesn't happen, then it really is a message that the series is, I think, on its way out. Or if they're going to continue it, great, but it will never be quite as popular as it once was, for sure. If that doesn't do it, nothing will, right, is the thing. Now, so everything seems to be legitimate. Jordy says, I think the Rick thing is true, and then he's got a link to comicbook.com, which, there's a lot of sites. You can just Google it around. You can see for yourself, guys. Nathan Beer said, Carl's death started out as a rumor and turned out to be true. I hope we won't have the same result with Rick Grimes. I think we will, Nathan. I'm sorry to say, brother, but I really think we will. I think this is it, man. I really do think so. I think season 9 is it for Rick. Torridd says, hey, Trev, is it possible for AMC to add a whole new lead character? No, for Torridd. And you guys can answer this one in the comments below. And also, give your thoughts on the validity of this and whether or not you think it's just an internet rumor or you think this is legitimate. I'm pretty certain at this point that this is for real. So, with regards to the possibility of who else could lead the show, you've got Daryl. Daryl's probably your best bet, in terms of popularity and in terms of notoriety. He could get at least a couple seasons, I think, out of Daryl, with the show still doing strong. It could do really strong the season that Rick dies. So this season might be the biggest season of The Walking Dead ever, if this is true. And season 10 would probably do just fine, but then people might turn off to it if Daryl isn't able to kind of reinvigorate the show in a new kind of way, which he might be able to do. We got to give him a chance, guys. We got to say, like, well, before we say he can't leave the series, whatever, we got to kind of see first, and maybe the Daryl we've had recently can't, but what if they change the character up a little bit, and, they kind of bring him in, and he leads in a different way than Rick ever did, right? It's going to be different. I don't expect him to be a Rick 2.0. I expect him to be him, just naturally leading the joint communities, and what that looks like. Maybe be a little bit more of a man of action, less talk, more action, with Daryl at the helm rather than Rick leading the group. So but don't look for AMC to be confirming this, guys. That likely won't happen. Stoners36 says, I have said it on multiple videos of yours prior, and I'll say it again. The Walking Dead is over in season 10. Fear the Walking Dead's over in Season 5. All new content, which will probably be the Commonwealth, starts immediately following. I was mocked. Wait and see. Wait and see. So there's some predictions from Stoner that Season 10 is the year he's picking, and you guys can leave a season below in the comments. With this recent news for Season 9, how do you foresee Season 10, 11, 12 doing? How many do you think they'd get? If they do 9, 2 years, bring us Season 11, maybe Season 12, final season of Walking Dead. Let me know what you guys think. If that, maybe that's a stretch. Maybe you guys are saying, no, 10 is it, like Stoner 36 says here. D-Man1954 says, Trev, just think about San Diego Comic-Con. With everyone already knowing about Rick leaving the show, people are going to be swarming SDCC, asking Andrew Lincoln and everyone else if it's true or not. I'm sure we will find out for sure around the time we get the trailer for the season as a result. This is going to be tricky, man, because it's so out there and it's so big and everybody knows about it at this point already. When it comes to Comic-Con, it's going to be strange. I would think that the first reaction is deny it down and get him out of there. Like, he can come in for an appearance and then get his ass out of there, right? Type of deal. The other option you go with is full disclosure. So you basically say, you better watch the season. It's Rick's last season. Watch the freaking season, right? And then everyone's like, oh my God, no, did you hear San Diego? And then the season comes back and it's like the biggest season ever. Which one would they go with? Which option would they do? I'll go with option number 1, which is that you kind of deny it all down and you try to keep it to be somewhat a surprise, rather than having AMC acknowledge it and say like, oh, in the trailer, Rick's last season or something. No, I don't think, I really don't see them doing that. So I'll go with option number 1, I think, for that one, of just denial and trying to avoid any questions like that as best as they can. Lisa Evans says, Q&A, Trev, Frank Delane, Andrew Lincoln, and Lauren Cohen are all English. Game of Thrones and HBO is actively recruiting for 2 Game of Thrones spin-offs, and 3 English characters are leaving AMC. Do you think this could be connected? Well, I don't think it's Game of Thrones spin-off that's causing this to happen with The Walking Dead. I think that the contracts that they originally signed were good up until around this time. So the contracts were good until around season 8. Like, they probably never thought that the series was going to last that long. Frank Darabont leaving in season 2 as showrunner, leaving the show up in the air. Glenn Mazzara coming in the show kind of being, it was fun to watch, but it was kind of, production-wise, it was a bit of a disaster from what reports have said. So they were not sure if the show was even going to get to season 9 or season 8. Like, there was no telling that was going to happen or that it was going to succeed, because it's not an easy show to make. It's very difficult to make. And obviously it was more successful than they could have ever dreamed, right? Or they ever would have thought that it would be. They probably never would think it would have gotten to number 1 slot on TV. I mean, that's really hard to get, and series like that just don't do that. It never, right? So they probably never imagined it would get to that point. The contract's running up here, and each person having so much screen time that their value has gone up tremendously. You got Denai Guerrero. She's in freaking Avengers and stuff, I mean, think about that. I mean, and Ross Marquand was in Avengers too. Even if it was just for a voice thing, to get to be in something that big, pretty much one of the biggest movies ever, right, with Infinity War and everything. So it's really John Bernthal's career being huge after Punisher and all the movies and stuff. So I'm sure they're looking at this saying to themselves, like, okay, well, how many years do I want to stay on? How much can they pay me? For Norman Reedus, I'm sure he's going to sign $20 million. Yeah, you sign that freaking deal, man. You go for it. You sign, you take the money. You know what I mean? You sign, okay, give me the, pay it, right? You're probably not going to get a better offer for any movies than $20 million for, however many seasons of Walking Dead. If it's 6 or 7 seasons, fine. You do it because it's like, yeah. But for the others, who knows what they were being offered, and if they can go do movies or they can lead other series, ABC might have deeper pockets than AMC. These other networks, other shows, movies, deeper pockets. So who knows? I mean, there's going to be lots of things coming up. In the future, lots of movies, lots more TV series. These people are going to be in crazy demand, and in a way, The Walking Dead sort of becomes a victim of its own success. In the Goldilocks zone, The Walking Dead was plenty successful enough to continue onward. So successful that the people that were involved in making it, the talent, the actors, actresses that are in The Walking Dead, are now in such high demand, it's become a victim of its own success with them having so much opportunity. They don't really need The Walking Dead anymore. They can go and make more money doing other things, and it's going to be difficult for AMC to keep these people behind. They're going to have to pay quite a bit, which raises, again, increases your cost of production, increases your cost for the series. Now the series has to get a certain amount of viewers. This is where you get into territory where your operating costs can be too high, and then, to keep on production, and then maybe eventually you have to kind of, if the series dwindles down further, then you have to kind of look towards wrapping it up in a few years. So anyway, huge news, crazy stuff. So far as I know, it's legitimate. Leave a comment below. Let me know how you guys are feeling, what you think about all this, what you think the reason is why for them wanting to leave, and how you think SDCC is going to be handled now with the trailer and all the other stuff with all this news being out there, and whether or not you think AMC will acknowledge this at all. I don't think they will whatsoever. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment below, and if you like this video, as per usual, please thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite, and if you're new and you have not subscribed yet, I would appreciate it, and click the subscribe button at the bottom left. That's it for this one. I'll see you guys again soon for another video. As always, it's Trev. I'm saying peace later, guys. I'll see you soon.